Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to right!
Howdy, howdy, TzuDevil here, and welcome to this online ladder battle between the Dwarfs and the Lizardmen, featuring me playing the Dwarfs versus Falcon playing the Lizardmen. Yes, that Falcon, the eternal challenger champion, the very first, one of the best players on the planet, and a Lizardmen main, and we get to have a game versus him. And this is sort of my newest Lizardmen build. I have upgraded it based on the stuff I've got from Umaze and A Move Hacker, and really tried to make the build a little bit better. So I'll go over our build first. As always, I have these group of All-Stars Raiders in the very back. Really, I want to bring them in so they can make a massive impact. Usually if you have them up on your line sort of in here somewhere, these big dinos will get through and just smash them. But if they can surprise the dinosaurs, I think they can basically finish off one of the big dinos before they even know what's happening. As always, I do have 2 Vanguarded Rangers to get in some early shots and then to retreat my line. What I have added is 1 gyrocopter with brimstone guns, and really this gyrocopter is just to harass, to sort of pick on targets of opportunity, and to really get the army moving. In the front line, I have gone with just basic longbeards with no chevrons. We have 5 of those instead of the 4 as per normal, and right behind them I have 5 groups of miners with blasting charges. Now I upgraded from 3 groups of miners with blasting charges to really handle red-crested skinks, skink cohorts, and skirmishers. In the back line I also added a bolt thrower. It's just for harass. It's to put the Lizardmen on a clock and to get them coming forward. The rest of my backline is 2 longbeards with great weapons, and I do have 2 quarters with great weapons in case the big dinos get through. At least I can put a little bit of damage on them, and I am led, as always, by Ungram Iron Fist. Now, for Felkon's army, he has, for his leader, the red-crested skink chief on his mount. He does a lot of missile damage, does poison, armor piercing, anti-infantry, versus 18. He does have the Warrior's Crest for plus 44 melee attack, plus 27 melee defense, every 90 seconds for 30. He does have the Opal Amulet every 60 seconds for 22. He does have Foe Seeker for the speed. This guy isn't terribly fast. He's only got 50 speed. And he does have Focus Instincts, Frenzy, and Fire in the Movement does cause fear and terror. For his front line, it's a mixture of skink cohorts and red-crested skinks. I believe 4 of each. Nope. 2 skink cohorts and two skink cohorts with javelins, and we have for the red-crested skinks 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for the back line, this is the heavy hitters, and every time I've really gotten crushed by Lizardmen, they've always had 3 or more Croxagors, and he has 3. And they are in the back line ready to get things going. He also has some Feral Cold Ones for the harass. I think he has 2 of those, yep. And he has a Bastillodon, which is the Arc of Sotek. And it has an ability kind of like a Mortis Engine, a Vortex. 28 seconds, every 60 seconds causes minor damage and does not affect friendly troops and causes poison. And for his caster, he does have just a Skink Priest on foot. And he has Wind Blast for the, going against Quarrelers and stuff like that, and Harmonic Convergence. And in the far back, he has 2 Chameleon Skinks, I believe. 2 Skink Skirmishers in the far back line. So we'll get this going. So right away, I'm going to get some shots into those red-crested skinks, and I'm going to order my gyrocopter to start up into here. I am going to get some early shots off with my bolt thrower. I get 2 shots with those, and I just want to retreat these guys and then move the rest of my line up. I'm going to try and make a bombing run, but I missed terribly because I'm terrible. But I scared them, which was the important part, so I am going to move up the rest of my line and sort of create a new front line right up here and get some normal shots off. And now he's coming up fast. I am going to try and target my miners with blasting charges. You can see I've targeted these red-crested skinks and these red-crested skinks out front, and I do have some shots just going with Quarrelers. That Wind Blast went off, really hurt my Rangers. I didn't lose any models, but a lot of health damage. and I am coming by with my gyrocopters. You can see how devastating those blasting charges are to the red-crested skinks. Again, we saw that in the last battle. They're very, very good, and the blasting charges are going off, and we're immediately routing 2 of them. The Croxagores have entered my line, and the Bastiodon is almost there. I've got some more blasting charges going against these skink cohorts, and I've got most of them out. I do have my backline is going to be overwhelmed, so I've got these Longbeards going up against the Feral Cold Ones. They will do very, very good in that fight, and he has gotten into my backline like this. I'm just going to try and push him back with my Quarrelers with great weapons. I'm going to keep my Bastiodon focused on the Croxagores, and here he comes with the red-crested skink against the Quarrelers with great weapons. And unfortunately he's through, but I am trying to pull these Longbeards up. I'm trying to push with my Miners with Blasty charges these guys away and get into there and deal with them. I have routed one of these skink skirmishers, but the front line isn't going so well. These Rangers have been routed off, and I've gotten these Feral Cold Ones, but really he's gotten some big time pressure right in the center pocket. I have Ungram trying to find a good spot to be. I am trying to get rid of these skink skirmishers. I don't believe I brought these guys up yet. No, I've forgotten about them. I do need to start bringing them up. And I am shooting at these skink skirmishers. He's trying to shoot at my bolt thrower, and I got my bolt thrower focused on his red-crested skink sheath along with my gyrocopter. So I am picking away at him, and he's just kind of going through my line. These Croxagores are going to do a great job against the Miners with blasting charges and the Longbeards, but I'm going to hold them steady for a while. I do have these Longbeards. I need to get them back into the fight, and here comes this red-crested skink chief. Boom, right through my Quarrelers with great weapons. Now they will do some damage to him. You can see they think they're winning that fight, although I would beg to differ. But we are still shooting them with gyrocopters, brimstone gun. He has brought back his skink skirmishers, and I think I finally have remembered, there we go, to bring in my Uthar's Raiders. I really need to get them up here and get into that red-crested skink, or get into something where I'm going to do some damage. Now, my whole front line has been pretty much, I'm going to say steady, relatively speaking, despite the chaos. He has been able to get his big dinosaurs through because they always can. There's no way to really ever stop that. But I'm starting to get my Longbeards on him. I do have Ungram. I want to get that. I want to get him over here and try and get a shot in, and he's just going to go right by. He's going after these Croxagores. He wants to get some of them killed, and man, these guys are so hard to deal with. And here's something really, really unfortunate. So Felkon is chasing off my Rangers with his skink skirmishers and his red-crested skinks, and he spots my Ulthar's Raiders. It's really unfortunate, so I'm going to have to stop and try and get away, and then I decide, no, I need to just shoot them and stand my ground and try and finish them off, and at least get those Ulthar's Raiders going. It's not the very best use of them. He knows where they are now. He's going to be able to harass them, and he's going to put a dent in them with his red-crested skinks. It is what it is. I have taken my bolt thrower, got them off of their bolt throwers, and I put my Miners, and now he's really, really collapsed sort of this side of my line badly with those Croxagores, and you know, I'm losing this side of the line. He's got skink cohorts and red-crested skinks, and he's holding down Ungram. I'm still getting shots off into his red-crested skink sheath. This gyrocopter, the brimstone guns, has been useful for just putting the harass on, but these Croxagores are just taking it to my infantry. They're beating them down very, very badly, and you can see he's definitely really putting a hurt on my Ulthar's Raiders. This is not the fight I want to be in. I bring some Longbeards with great weapons back here to try and deal with them, so I can get them in here and start shooting. He's got these red-crested skinks going after these Rangers and the skink cohorts, and I got some Miners back here that are rallying, but my main pocket has been completely and utterly compromised. I am trying to bring my units back and get them into at least a decent enough matchup, but really everything here is in pretty bad shape. The balance of power looks pretty even, but it is it's clearly in Felkon's favor right now. I am trying to shoot these guys to just shoot my way to the big dinosaurs. So I'm shooting the red-crested skinks, I'm shooting the skink cohort, very poor targets. I am trying to bring my Longbeards back. I do want to sort of create a shield with these Longbeards so I can get my Ulthar's Raiders behind them and get some shots in. And I can take some shots with these Rangers and try and hold off, and I do have these Rangers taking some shots against these skink skirmishers, and I'm really trying to reset my line back here and do the best with what I have right here. So he's completely compromised everything in my entire line, but I am trying to reorganize my two groups and I'm trying to get in Ungram because he's at full health, but again, he's skink cohorts with Javelin. Like, Falcon's playing very, very good. He's got skink cohorts in here, skink cohorts, all fighting Ungram. That's exactly who I don't want to be fighting, and he's got his big dinosaurs clearing off my other units. Now, I have got my Longbeards with great weapons here. I am bringing up my Ulthar's Raiders. I'm trying to find good targets, and I'm trying to get good targets with my Rangers behind to create a secondary line so I can get in there and get some shots, but he's really focusing on just pushing these guys out and, you know, leaving these guys. So I'm trying to get close as I can to get these shots. I really want to get these volley in, so I have these Kroxigors targeted. I have my Longbeards targeted, and he's just going to come at me with everything he's got. And I am getting off my shots. Usually you don't get off all your ammo. I'm trying to get off as much as I can, but he just plows right through. And I do have some Rangers in the back line. I do have my bolt thrower just going up to get in the road. I am taking some shots to try and get in there, but he is absolutely crushing my Ulthar's Raiders at this point. These Longbeards with great weapons are doing a great job. But they're not meant for skinks. And here comes Ungram again. We'll see if he can actually get a shot in this time. There we go. All right. And he's going after this red-crested skink chief, who is now at 1900 health. See if he's going to get a shot in. And 1500 health. So if he can stay there with these Longbeards with great weapons, he's going to do a job on him. He's got him down to 1200 health now. Ungram is very, very strong. But really, it is these Kroxigors and this Bastiladon. They've just come through and absolutely demolished my secondary support here, and now I'm just going to be chasing him down with the troops that I have, which is one good group of Longbeards with great weapons and Ungram Iron Fist, and I do have this remaining gyrocopter, which is out of ammo. And you can see he's just going to, simply because, I mean, really solid players always do this, he's just going to escort my units off the field to make sure they keep going. And he has no rush to fight Ungram and Longbeards. They are slow. I am going to try and retaliate in kind and get my gyrocopters to rout these guys, red-crested skinks. And he's bringing the skink cohorts with Javelin. I'm just trying to get him out. I'm going to try and do my best, but I can't pull them through. And I am trying to chase him down at this time. He's just pushed everybody out in a very methodical way, pushing these guys out. And my gyrocopters have routed. I do have one unit of Longbeards left over here. I believe I was trying to bring them back over as quickly as 26 speed will get you anywhere. But yeah, he's taking care of my Ulthar's Raiders with his Kroxigors, and he's taking care of my Rangers. And now he's coming back with his red-crested skink chief. Really, now he's just going to converge on my leadership with everything he has. And he has 1200 health left. We'll see if Ungram can get a shot in there. And our Longbeards with great weapons. I mean, obviously, at this point, he has a very significant advantage. The game is lost, but he's still bringing in his boss. He's down to 969 health. He's got Foe Seeker and Damage Resistant going. My Gyrocopter has come back. I've got my Longbeards and Ungram, and they're going to stay and fight. I'm going to try and get in there and hold down his Kroxigors and attack as much as I can. I want to get another shot in there with Ungram to see if I can at least whittle this skink chief down. Unfortunately, I just can't catch him. He goes through and just going to waddle through my line. He's really, really hard to catch. And we're going to get Ungram going after these Kroxigors. These Longbeards with great weapons are fighting the right unit in the Kroxigors because they have good anti-large capabilities. I do have these Rangers coming back. Ungram is fighting. I think I'm gonna get another shot in here against this red-crested skink at some point with Ungram. I'm just spam clicking this red-crested skink chief because I want to try and kill him. That's my only goal, is to get another shot in there. Bang! I hit him again. He's down to 700 health, and Ungram is going as hard as he can. See if we can hit him again. He's down. Let me see. Where we go. We're starting to try and rout him. He is down to 700 health. He is wavering. Ungram's taking a beating. He hits him again. He's down to 400 health. He is routing. Not that it matters, but Ungram is doing his absolute best to keep on fighting in the fray. We're going to see if we can just watch Ungram fight in the middle of Kroxigors and a Bastiladon, doing his absolute best. You can see those Kroxigors are smashing skinks out of the way. Ungram is hitting. There he goes. Takes another Kroxigor down. He's going to turn around and keep on fighting like the Slayer King should, doing everything he can to keep on going. Takes down another Croxagore, going as hard as he possibly can. Hits the big Bastiladon. Everything he can hit with his axe he's doing. And down to 491 health. Still killing, just like the Slayer King should. And in comes the red-crested Skink Chief for one final charge. And he hits Ungram for that final charge, brings him down to 0 health, and that is the end. So we get a valiant defeat in there against Felkon, which was really, really fun. A great fun game. We'll just go over the final stats. I think Felkon, I went back and looked at some of his VODs, and he's been working on his Lizardmen build, I think, in the last little while, but yeah, I'm happy with the miners with blasting charges and how they performed. I mean, I could have played them a little bit better and obviously did more to the red-crested skinks and to the skink cohorts. Skink cohorts performed very, very strong because they were just chasing down units. But I'll go over the dwarves first. So 44 kills with Ungram. I really had a hard time getting him on the right targets. He is very difficult to get to the right targets. I should have just focused on the Croxagores because he can kill one in a one hit. As you saw in the very end, and the Croxagores aren't mobile like the big dinos, and he could have just sat there and wasted them away. But the miners with blasting charges, 49, 16, 22, 23, and 22. The Longbeards, 54, 46, 30, 47, and 71. Now, there are 5 Longbeards, and they have no chevrons, unlike my old lineup, which had 4 Longbeards with 4 chevrons, and they definitely, you can notice the difference in how they hold up in that front line. But it's made this army significantly wider, so that's why I chose to do that. I do have the 2 Longbeards with great weapons, 76 and 58 kills in that backline. The backline is a little lighter, but we also have a lot more miners. 49 and 28 with the Rangers, they did good. They're very solid, and the Quarrelers with great weapons, I think, performed okay at 32 and 47, and they're decent in that backline. 56 for the Elthor's Raiders. That's a high number for them because normally you want to go after the big dinos, and really, I don't know if it would have made a difference in the outcome had I been able to pull off my quote-unquote sneak attack, but it would have helped. And the Gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun, adding that one-of to this lineup, I really, really like. I felt like I could control it for the most part. I wasn't, like, my micro is not very good, and it's a real struggle for me to control gyrocopters, and I think I only got one of their bombing runs off. But I was able to get them to the right position so they could, for the most part, just take free shots on that Skink Chief the whole game. What I really should have done is maintain the Bolt Thrower, the Gyrocopter, and Ungram on the Croxagores. Like Croxagores, they like 139 and 109 and 89. They are custom made to beat the crap out of Dowie. And anti-infantry. I think they're anti-infantry, armor piercing, large. And I like to get this lineup. I had to pull my Dragonback Slayers, and I pulled my Grumbling Guard, and then from there. So I lost some quote unquote killiness for big targets, but really it was to be prepared for all the skinks, because you see, like if you just look at this, I mean, Felkon's like, I would say arguably he's one of the best players in the world, hands just as it is, and he's a Lizardman main, and his choices against the Dowie, he brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 skinks. So 10 skinks, I think, all very low armor, definitely justifies bringing 5 miners with blasting charges. Now, I think even if you brought a Source heavy build, you're still going to have 2 to 6 skinks between your skirmishers and your skink cohorts, so it's generally not going to be totally wasted. So I don't know. I have some more games I'm going to cast with this build. I really, really like the one-off for the Bolt Thrower and the one-off for the Gyrocopter. I know there's a lot of you that love Bolt Throwers out there, and I love them too. They are just a solid unit at 340 range and 550 gold. And they put the opponent on a clock and get them coming forward. I mean, I really have been trying to improve my game by putting pressure on my opponents early and this bolt thrower and the gyrocopter really helps, and the vanguarded rangers also really help. Though I have given up a lot in the back line by way of the ability to kill these big dinosaurs, which was noted on Shetland Apache's amazing Discord. If you've never gone to a Shetland Apache's Discord, you got to get on it. It's tournament Discord. They have theory crafting and stuff like that. Amazing conversations. And I put down this build and I asked about it, and the first comment I think was just not enough dino killing power, and which is definitely true. But there's I don't know if there's buts. I felt like I felt okay running this build, and it felt good to me. And I was playing a good player. Like, Felkon's going to beat me 20 times out of 20, no matter what two factions we play. So I'm very, very happy with my performance. I still believe the Dwarfs have an advantage in this matchup. So I think that helped me in my performance a little bit there. Well, more than a little bit, most likely, because I think the Dwarfs do have an advantage in the matchup. But I could be wrong. People think a different way. But anyways, I really had fun. I enjoyed the new build. I will be showing some more games with this build. And thanks, Felkon, for the game. He was a gentleman in the chat before, and just a really, really good person. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. What did you think of the game? And I always ask for comments. It's my favorite part, so I want to hear from you as to again, you in this matchup. I've had quite a few games against the Lizardmen, and I'm going to have more because people keep picking the Lizardmen into me. I mean, I always pick the Dowie first. As soon as I go into that screen, I pull up the Dowie, and I have a Dowie flag for my name. So I mean, it's clear that I'm going to play the Dwarfs. So people always pick into me whatever they feel like playing, and I've been getting a lot of Lizardmen picks. So anyways, let me know what you thought of the game and the build, and your thoughts and ideas. I would love to hear from you. And with that said, I will see you soon.